Ruski's Crypto Cave here. Today we're going to get some more accurate power readings of what exactly these two S19s are pulling. Right now, together, they are pulling 5512. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut down and power down the S19J Pro 104 that is on Braiins. And currently that one is showing, it is using about 2676 as far as wattage goes. And Backwards Miner made a pointed out to me that if you see the voltages, like the one hash board is at a, not a voltage, frequency is at a higher frequency than the others, and to check the bus bars and make sure they loosen up. So what I'm going to do is power that down, check that, make sure those are tight, and then power them back up just to see what the power rating is. Because by powering that down will let me know exactly what the S19K Pro is pulling currently as well, and then the difference will let me know what the S19J Pro 104 was pulling. So I'm going to shut that down now. Just do this. So that one is shut down. And the S19K Pro is pulling right at 3,000 watts, 3,004, 3,002. That's about what I thought it was pulling. It's supposed to be pulling 2760, so not sure what the deal is there, but it's definitely pulling more than 2,700 watts. That has not changed at all. So basically, the S19J Pro is pulling about 2510-ish. 2512, something like that. So about 2,512 when it was saying on Braiins. Now it's pulling about 2676. So I'm gonna go check the bus bar, make sure that's all tight and snug, and power it back up, and we'll be back. As I was messing around with the 104 terahash model, the power usage dropped a tiny bit on the S19K Pro, but I think that's mainly from the fan speeds, because it sounded like the fan spun down a little bit and the speed was lowered. But as you can see, it's creeping back up again, back closer to the 3,000 watt mark. So it's pretty safe to say it's using pretty much right around the 3,000 watts. As we can see, the S19J Pro 104 on Braiins is starting to ramp up. I just powered it back on. It's using a power setting at 2,700 watts, and as we've seen before, that showed like 2,600 watts, and it was really only pulling about 2,500 watts. And same, it's back at the 5,500 total for this breaker, which does have both the S19K Pro and the J Pro 104 on it as well. So that one, as you can see, it's still ramping up. The fault light's still on, so it's not fully functional yet, but it does take a few minutes to get up and running. But as you can see in here, it's still ramping up, where it shows it up about 89 terahash or so. So everything is still climbing. But I did tighten the bus bars, and nothing was really loose, so I don't know if that will do anything. They're all pretty snug, so I'll have to maybe run another power setting if it looks like it's going through and cycling voltages and stuff again, and that hash board number 3 is still consistently at a higher frequency than the rest of them are. It could be just silicone lottery, I guess. I don't know. I don't know as much about ASICs as I do about GPUs, but who knows. But now it's just starting to level out around 95 terahash, which is about what it was before. Now, that power usage says 2568 right now. That's a little more accurate, you know. But some of the other things that I did change, I did swap one of my 3060 Ti rigs over to Neoxa. It's also solo mining Neoxa, so I have currently this is the 3060 Ti rig. I'm sure this is updating. Let's go back over to here. So on the Oxa, I have 826 mega hash right now on the Oxa, so that's two 3070 rigs, a 3060 Ti rig, and my 1660 Ti rigs are all solo mining the Oxa. The network hash rate has come down, so we are at, it's up to 728. It was in the mid 600s before as far as gigahash, as far as network hash rate, so it has popped up a bit. But as you can even see, a little spike there at the end as far as the number of shares and the hash rate. But so I got my, there's all the rigs that are on there. The 1660 Ti rig and the Octo number 6 should be finding a block here soon, I hope. They're both over 300% luck. Currently, I am at, this is on Google Sheets. I found a total of, I believe it's 68. Yeah, it starts at 2, goes to 69. Good number. It is 68 blocks I have found since I was solo mining, and the total luck is 95.5%. So I'm approaching that 100% mark. So I'm hopefully, I was even actually jumping around doing some testing as far as different pools and their ping times, just to see if I could get a better ping time on a different pool. And it seems that Hero Miners gives me the best ping. It's not as, the other ones are all in the 50 to 60 millisecond ping range. Hero Miners is in the 30, low 30s, mid 30s. Sometimes dips into the high 20s, but most of them are in the like 30 to 34 range as far as millisecond ping time. So it's not perfect, but the Lithium pool, on the other hand, it's also through Hero Miners. My ping time is probably like 16, 17 milliseconds. So it's much better ping time there. I did try a few. I was, for the Oxa though, I was going through, I checked two miners. Two miners only has a European one. Miner pool, I tried that one. Solo pool, tried that one. I did not try K1 pool or Crimson Fusion. So I didn't give those a try, but I may mess around with them later as well. But just back to the breaker here, we got still at 55. Fault light is off, hashing normally. See where we settled out at. And right around 98 terahash or so, showing about 2600 watts. So it's basically 97, 98 terahash at 2500 watts. So that's pretty good. Can't complain too much there. What I might try to do, since I'm at, what, 55 on that breaker, it was as low as 5300 at one point. I might have a 3/4 of an amp of power left. I might even juice this power thing up by 200 watts or so. The performance, 2900. And then save and apply. So what we'll do is we'll see what this does. As you can see, the power drawn down as it's restarting. It's probably going to settle around about there, just because it's still running all the hash boards, but just not actually hashing functions aren't going on. But it'll eventually start ramping back up again, and the power, there it is, right back down to like 3,000 watts. Now it's probably completely resetting and it's going back up. So let's go over to Braiins. Go over to the dashboard. And then we're slowly starting to ramp up again. We'll see what this levels out at. But this whole process does take a few hours as it fine-tunes each chip and stuff to get the ideal frequencies and voltages and all that fun stuff. So this will take a bit. But if I had to guess 200 more watts, it's probably going to level out right around, I'm going to guess the 104 terahash, somewhere around there. Right around what the stock hash rate is, with just slightly less power. So we'll see what happens here. Yep, they're right around 200 watts more, just about. So, and my guess is we'll be at right around 100, a little over 100 terahash. So, but anyway, that's all for this video. If you're gonna play around and get some power usage numbers for the two S19s, the K Pro, the J Pro Plus is on the blue one. I have to shut down a few other mining rigs and stuff like that to get the exact power rating in that one, but just judging by Braiins OS and what the power ratings are, and then when I shut down the mini Doge, this was probably around 230 watts. The Jazz miner was about 240, so there's like 470, so that puts that at right around like 4,900-ish. The other rigs that are on there are basically 1,100 watts on the 3080 and 1,400 watts on the 13070 rig, so there's another 2,400. So if that goes down to say 4,900, another 2,400 leaves about 2,500 watts. So the J Pro Plus 120 is running right around a 2,500 watt range, and that one is currently, I believe, at 95 terahash, 93 terahash-ish total hash rate. So it's very similar to what the 104 is running at previously. So before I bumped the power up a little bit. So this is still running. Like I said, we'll be running for a couple more hours. So it'll stop in next video over the weekend or something like that. Let's do a quick update and say, hey, this is where it's settled at, and go from there. But anyway, until the next one, we'll catch you later.